Hi, my name is Raven, and on November 30th, 2025, I was assaulted by a man at Sincerely Yours that resulted in some pretty severe injuries for me. One of them being this scar on my hand. I'm putting on my jammies and doing my skincare routine just because I just got off of work, but this has like been weighing on me for a while, and I wasn't gonna tell the story, but my friends and people who have heard the story have just been encouraging me to put the story out there. And I feel like maybe this will take a weight off of my shoulders if I do tell this story. And it is gonna be multi parts. This is gonna be a long story. I apologize in advance. So I met up with my girlfriends on November 30th. We went to Sincerely Yours. We meet up outside, we walk in together, and we go straight to the bar. Because of how small the club is, like narrow, I was at the bar buying our drinks. I told them I would get our first round, and they were standing directly behind me on the wall. And I'm facing the bartender, waiting for her to take my order, and I can see my friends on the wall out the corner of my eye. It's two women. Keep this in mind. I'm with two women. And all of a sudden, I feel an arm around my neck. The arm isn't necessarily choking me, but the arm is like around my neck and pulling me back towards them. And I immediately knew this was the arm of a man. This is a problem because there's not a single man on this earth who I know where that would have been okay. Number one. Number two, it was also concerning because the two people who I came with, I can see out of the corner of my eye. So I know for sure it's not them, even if there is like a doubt that it was a man's arm, right? So as I'm turning around to see who this is with their arm behind me, I hear someone say, a man. You are the baddest in here. You're so fine. Something along those lines. And as they're saying that, they're saying that as I'm turning and I'm pulling their arm from off me. They don't remove their arm on their own. I remove their arm off of me and I turn and look, and it's a man who I've never seen before, a man who I don't know, just a man full of audacity. And so I tell him like that's not cool. I don't get crazy. I'm just like, that's not okay. What you did was not okay. I swore, but I was talking kind of like in the way that I'm talking right now. I cursed, but my voice honestly wasn't even raised. So he kind of like backed away after and was like, and so I want you to also bear in mind that I'm standing in between two men, right? Two men who watched everything and said nothing until the man walked away. And then after he walked away, they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not," because that was crazy. And then that was the end of that. But the bartender saw and she was like, "Oh, he's got to go. I already cut him off. He was doing weird stuff all night. He needs to go." So the bartender, keep this in mind, the bartender leaves the bar to go get security to say, to have them kick this guy out. And so my friends, they thought that I knew this guy. And so once I told them like, no, I have no idea who that man is. That's when they realized like the gravity of the situation and they were like, what the hell? So the bartender comes back. She has gone outside to ask security to get this guy out, right? So I'm thinking that's going to be the end of that. I continue standing in line to order my drinks. When all of a sudden, I hear this agitating, grating voice. No, literally, all of a sudden, I'm like looking behind me to make sure my homegirls are good. Because if you've been to Sincerely Yours, again, you know the wait for drinks is excessive. I look, I see the man walking by me again, and he calls me a bitch to my face. He goes, bitch, just like that, to my face. So me and the bartender look at each other, and the bartender says verbatim, that's crazy that they wouldn't kick him out when I'm the manager. That they wouldn't listen to me when I asked them to kick him out because I'm the manager. So now I'm upset because not only did this man assault me, right? He's already assaulted me. Putting your hands, arms on someone who you don't know without their consent is assault. Okay? It's unwanted contact. Okay? So not only did he do that, he has now spun the block to call me a bitch for something I didn't do. I wasn't the one who asked for him to get kicked out. Did it need to happen? Yes, but I wasn't the one who made the call. The bartender, who's also the manager, made that call, right? And so not only did he not get kicked out, he was allowed to come back by me and call me a bitch. So now I'm upset because you don't care about my safety. So I'm still waiting for the drink to even order a drink. So I give my card to my friend and I'm like, I'm gonna go outside and talk to security myself. I'm gonna go see like if they understand the gravity of the situation and let them know that this man just came back by to call me a bitch. So I go outside, I tell security what happened. I'm like, this man put his arm around my neck. I don't know him. Then he came back and called me a bitch, and I didn't do anything. Like, they're like, okay, point him out. So I'm like, okay. I take them to go point him out. And now, if you've been to Sincerely Yours, again, the club is shaped like this is a long, narrow club. It's like shaped like a rectangle, okay? So the entrance to the club is at like this part of the rectangle, and this man is standing all the way at this part of the rectangle. So I like walk like here. I don't want to get close to this man because, you know, I've always heard people say like the feeling you have when you know something bad is going to happen. And for the first time in my life, I had that feeling. I can't even explain it. I've never felt that feeling before, ever, but it's not a good feeling. And something was telling me you need to stay away from this man moving forward. So I pointed him out, and then I go in the corner. There's like a little dip in the club where you outside of the rectangle where you can go and hide. So I went in this corner and I'm waiting for security to kick him out. Cause like obviously that's what's gonna happen, right? Wrong. Security comes back up to me and they're like starting to walk outside again. So I stop him and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh, he's good. And when I say he, there's two security guards. There's a short older gentleman. Oh my gosh, my retainer is. There's a short older gentleman and then there's a taller younger gentleman. The short older gentleman is the one who I'm talking to at this point. He's like, nah, he's good. I'm like, he's good? He just called me a bitch. He's good? He goes, well, I talked to him and he's going to behave. Sir, the opportunity for him to behave was when you talked to him the first time after he put his arm around my neck. And then he came out and called me a bitch, but you talked to him and he's going to behave? This is not giving a man who's going to behave. And so what I just said is my inner dialogue. Honestly, I'm just standing there looking at him because I'm dumbfounded. I cannot believe it. And I'm like, so you're going to let him stay after he called me a bitch and put his arm around my neck?
At this point, this is when you leave the club, especially after the manager's like, oh, the security isn't listening to me. It's giving the security already knows this guy, that he's a regular, and they're just going to let him get away with things because what? He probably spends a lot of money there. So yeah, if you're in an establishment like this and you didn't even buy your drink, it's just time to go. Your protection, making sure you're okay is not their first priority. Like I said, security can be dirty. If you know somebody, if they cool with the person, they'll probably let you in with weapons, let you in with drugs, let you get away with whatever. They probably made many complaints about this man. Like the manager said, oh, like he's been acting weird all night. So why is he still there? Even after he did what he did to you.
Right. Even if he can use the excuse of, oh, I'm just lit, I'm drunk, isn't it like a limitation to how much you can drive? I've never, I know I'm probably a square to a lot of y'all, but growing up, you've been through a lot of stuff. You tend to stay out of certain environments. You know where the drama comes from. And I've never been in the bar, so I'm honestly, I mean, I've been to the bar, but I've never been to the point where if you get too many drinks, they deny me. You know what I'm saying? I never got that lit at the bar. But I'm assuming that if you were in a club or a bar, if you are drunk, you shouldn't be able to continue to drink. And I thought they see you home after that. You know what I'm saying? So it's no really excuse to why. I think the men that she said that was standing by her was just as confused as her own friends. Like you came with these women and they thought this was your dude. You know, imagine if I'm just a stranger and I'm standing here. I'm just like, you know, we don't want to instantly get involved in those situations. I know women like to think like, oh, we choose the bear. In most cases, men don't want to protect us. And I even heard a woman say that something about men are more like territorial than not protectors. You know what I'm saying? And in some situations, I can understand why they feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Men are more territorial towards what's theirs. And if you're not theirs, then they kind of mind their business in a sense. And a lot of people see that as like, oh, he's not a real man. But until you in those type of shoes, you really don't know what it's like. You know, we've been seeing so many people get unalive trying to help these type of situations, and then the girl go back with them. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand from a man perspective, it's like we gotta make it home too. You know what I'm saying? We understand you gotta make it home, and we're gonna do what we gotta do. We're gonna do what we. It gotta be obvious though. You know what I'm saying? We can't just hear some little dispute and think like, oh, get away from her. You know, some people will do that. Some people will sacrifice themselves from that. But a man who has somebody to go home to, a family to go home to, probably ain't gonna be in that damn place anyways. But just say he is. He's just trying to get a good time. It can happen, man. I'm always gonna teach my daughters to play it smart. You know what I mean? Like in situations like this, like you said, go home. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you're not safe here, it's time to go. Party's over, fun's over. It's been over since he did what he did, so it's just time to go home. But what are y'all thoughts in this situation so far? I agree. I think she should have just went home at this point because clearly nobody wants to like step in until it's too late in a sense. Like they gotta wait till you physically putting his hands on you for real. Now they go, okay, we gotta do something, you know. And that's how it is everywhere you go. You gotta learn how to protect yourself in this world, man or female.
And he goes, yeah. He then starts to yell at me. Keep in mind, my friend is standing next to me now because this situation is like starting to escalate. And she's just standing there for support. And she got our drinks. So she finally got our drinks. She brings them to me. She brings me my card. And now she's standing there listening to this security guard berate me and like yell at me. He was like, let me do my job. Are you going to let me do my job? Let me do my job. I handled it. I told you I talked to him. It's cool. And I'm standing there looking stupid because again, I told you I have this horrible feeling. And so now, hello? So now after waiting all this time for my drink, I'm realizing, okay, I'm going to have to leave because I didn't feel safe. The feeling was horrible. So I'm standing there and I'm getting ready to chug my drink because I'm like, I'm going to have to leave. If they're letting this man stay, I must evacuate the premises. And then all of a sudden they both both the security guards touch their ear like they're listening to something. And the older guy walks back towards where the guy is. And so I'm like pleading my case to the other security guard. I'm like, can y'all please kick him out? He was like, no, don't worry. Like, we're going to get him out. We're getting him out right now. So I don't know if like when they were listening, someone else was complaining about this man. But again, I'm under the impression because the security guard just told me they're going to get him out that this older gentleman security guard is going to get him. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go back to that little Heidi corner because again, this feeling that I'm having is telling me I need to get out of Dodge. And when you exit, I didn't want him to see me when he was exiting, when they were kicking him out. And I didn't want to be near him because I didn't feel safe. And so lo and behold, the man walks by me again, but without security. And it's like he's looking for me. I'm in the corner and I can tell that he's looking for me. And guess what? He finds me. And guess what he does? The man charges at me and swings at me. And I put my arm out and I push him back. But okay, this video is about to end.
I'm not gonna lie, men like this low key be DL. This don't, and if you don't know what DL mean, it mean down low, closet gay. If I can say that without offending anybody, I feel like that's what this man is. Because what the fuck? How do you just so you that bothered? Don't get me wrong. I've been rejected before. I know what it's like to be rejected and be, not wanted at times. And it's all about how you handle it. I think the best way to handle those situations is just to move the fuck on. Like the less you seem bothered by it, the better. Sometimes it may turn around in your favor. But to charge a woman because at the end of the day she wasn't going just shows a lot about this type of man. He's an abuser. This man goes home and beat on his woman. I'm gonna be real with you. These are the types. I know you're like, don't judge a book by its cover. All right, now that's why y'all end up in situations because y'all don't know how this shit can actually help you in a sense too. Like you can't just you got to sometimes. Like look at this man. Sometimes God will put it in your face. It's so obvious that this man is a bad person. But it's like, he's just drunk. You don't give him excuses and all that. But it's like, no, this dude beats women and he's low key gay.
I think some men just can't handle rejections. And as a woman, you got to know when you're dealing with somebody that can't handle rejection. Like if they're like looking scary and they're like asking for your number, girl, just give it to him and just block it after because let him dial it and it's not that number, baby girl.
Yeah.
People are unstable.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a weird world we live in today, and I have two daughters. So when I'm speaking, I have a sister I love dearly, and I have 7 brothers and 1 sister. All right, and she's my older sister. So when I hear stories like this, it's always I'm trying to give advice for like how she is, like to protect yourself at the end of the day. I know it seems like we victim blaming, like oh well, he can keep his hand. Yeah, he could keep his hands on himself. But one thing I learned about life is that you can't control what other people do. You only can control how you respond to it. That's the only power we have is what we do with ourselves. So it's like with these type of people, they unhinged. Maybe it is best sometimes to just give the number up. In this situation, I don't blame her for like get off me. You know what I'm saying? Like back the fuck up. You feel me? You gotta defend yourself because it's past the point of like, all right, he just asked for the number. He looks scary. Let me give it to him. He's touching me. You know what I mean? It's like I gotta defend myself, and I'm not just gonna go like that. And I understand some women understand like I ain't going like that. But those type of women understand this. Have something to protect yourself because you got grown men that'll charge you just because you're pretty and they can't have you. This shit is a wicked world.
We're gonna have to catch this up in part 2. I'm gonna try to tell this story in a timely fashion so I can go to bed because I do have to work again tonight. But so the man sees me, and I know I before he saw me and he charged at me, I knew he was looking for me because when you're like walking through a crowd and you're like looking and turning your head, and again, he is unaccompanied by security. So he finds me and he charges at me and he's like, "You fucking bitch." And does TikTok let you cuss? I guess we're gonna find out. But he charges at me, he's like, "You fucking lying ass bitch." And he swings at me. I put my arm out to like push him back. And honestly, now I, I I'm flabbergasted, okay? Because I cannot believe that we have like how did we get here? How did we get here? Okay? I don't understand it. I don't get it. And I don't understand how security has allowed this man to get close to me. And I'm also looking to scan to see if any man is going to step in and help me. Damn security at this point, but is security going to come? And no, they don't. So the man charges at me again. I push him back again, and this time the drink that I waited forever to have, okay, is still in my hand. And so I'm thinking, I'm like, I need to get this man to leave me alone because no one is helping me. He's gonna hurt me really bad. He is gonna hurt me really bad. That's all that's playing in my head. Like this man wants to hurt me and he is going to hurt me. So I throw my drink in his face. Here's where the problem lies. Throwing a drink in someone's face is not as easy as the housewives make it look, especially when I feel like you're just so I just wasn't in the mindset to be on guard. I wanted to go out and have a good night with my girls, and that is what I was looking for. And I just wasn't in a mental place to have to defend myself. My guard was
You know what? Yeah, that's a good question. Where is your friends? Where are the friends at? This is let this be a sign for a lot of things. Don't go to the bar without, some type of person that you can count on to have your back. That's one. I don't know. I'm not trying to say your friends are horrible people, but if he did all of this and your friends wasn't coddling you like they should, I guess, being around you, trying to create that little shield of protection around you, then that just shows you a lot about your friends too. Like,
Yeah.
he's a bad guy, yes, but he kind of exposing your friends for being like ain't shit either. And I don't mean to don't get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I would say this about my own siblings, whoever I feel like is giving this energy, because you got to watch everybody. Just because they have these titles don't mean that they are above everybody else in a sense. If they are watching you be attacked by somebody, are they still confused at this point? Whether this was the man who came with you or not, these are supposed to be your friends. I don't give a damn if you came with him. Fuck, like, it just don't make any sense.
Yeah, if you're in an uncomfortable situation and your friend's not like, let's get out of here, but like, oh, let's go get the drinks. I'll just get it. No, they over here looking for a good time, not looking to protect you. If you're uncomfortable, the first thing that should be on their mind is, we need to go.
I
Like, F the
forgot.
drinks. Girl, it's not worth it. We can go to another place. Not, oh, it's all right. They'll handle it. Come on, girl, let's drink. Those are not your friends.
It's crazy. God, low key forgot she even came with her friends. That is wild.
Down because I had been to Sincerely Yours before, and I thought that it was a place where I could let my guard down, so I did let my guard down, and I just wasn't expecting that to happen. So I throw my drink in his face and I freaking miss. I miss bad. I don't even know if it hit him. I think it may have got on his shirt, but my goal was to blind him and I failed. I failed miserably. So at this point I don't know what happened because it happened so quick. All I know is that I saw his arm go towards my face like this. I thought he was gonna punch me. I thought he was punching me. So I turned my head and I put up my hand. I put up this hand. I turned my head and I put up this hand. And I'm bracing for impact. I'm like, this man's gonna knock me out. And like, okay, maybe once I'm lifeless on the floor, someone will help me. But I see his hand go like this towards my face. I put my hand up. I turn and I feel something hit me hard. It felt like he punched me. It felt like he punched me. Um, and I immediately can't see. I'm like, my face is wet, my hand is wet, and I'm thinking it's blood. I'm like, oh God. He's mauled me. I'm scarred. And so I turn my head and I hear like a bunch of click clanking and tables. I think people have finally intervened and my friends like kind of put their arms over me. I think this part was really a blur. All I know is that like I'm saying I can't see. Someone help me. I can't see. I need a napkin. I'm trying to open my eyes and I can't. So people grab me like the little black cocktail napkins and I'm wiping my face and I'm like feeling my face to make sure my face is okay. And I'm like, is my face okay? Is my face okay? Like, because I'm under the impression this man hit me. I know he hit me because something hard hit me. Like I was hit by something hard and it felt like a punch. And I'm feeling my face and I know like when you get hurt, you don't feel it initially because of the adrenaline. So like I have no idea where I'm hurt, but I know I'm hurt. And they're like, no, your face is okay. You're okay. You're okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm okay. But I look down and I see blood dripping. I'm like, no, I'm not okay because there's blood. And they're like, oh, maybe it's his blood. I'm like, why would it be his blood? He didn't get hurt. Why would it be his blood? And then suddenly I see my hand. And then I don't know how to work technology good, but I'm gonna see if I can insert a picture of my hand before the stitches. And this is my hand today. It's what? Martin Luther King Day, January 19th. This happened November 30th. So this is my scar now, but it was bad. I immediately knew it was bad because I'm moving my hand and I can see the ligament in my hand. And so the club is cleared and the only people standing next to me are my girls and other women. No one from the club in the immediate aftermath is there offering me any aid. Okay, so a minute I want to say, let's just say a minute, right? To be fair, let's just say a minute. Finally, a busser. I'm assuming he's a busser because when I was ordering my drink, he was behind the bar like cleaning glasses and stuff. He comes and he's like, what do you need? I'm like, I need a first aid kit. and I need you to call 911. He's like, oh, well, the first aid kit is in the back. You have to come to the back to get the first aid kit. And I'm bleeding profusely. Profusely. I'm also in shock. And I sat down. I finally sat down and I'm in shock. And so I'm like, I cannot walk back there. I'm not saying many words. I can't really form many sentences because I'm in shock. I'm lost. I'm lost for words how we got here. I can't believe that this man physically assaulted me. I can't believe that anyone would want to hurt me. I'm shocked all around. I can't believe that a night out with my girlfriends turned into me being severely injured. Like I'm sitting there, I'm shocked, I'm stuck, and I'm like, I'm not moving. I cannot move. The first aid kit needs to come to me and I need you to call the ambulance. I need medical attention. And people are like trying to help me. They're like, and by people, I mean not the workers, other women in the club. They're trying to help me, trying to give me first aid. And I'm like, I'm a nurse. Okay, guys, what has happened? I just looked at my hand. It is beyond first aid. I need stitches. I need medical attention. And I need it now. And I'm steady saying, I need a first aid kit and I need someone to call 911. Someone comes up, the general manager, his name is Buddha. He comes up and he's like, what do you need? Like, I need you to call 911. He's like, oh, I can get you a car to the hospital. I'm going to condense this part because I'll be here all day. But I want to emphasize the fact that Sincerely Yours and its affiliates, his general manager, security, never called 911 for me. My friend who I was with, I had to look at her and say, I need you to call 911. So she calls.
And a lot of reason why clubs won't call 911 is because they're going to check everybody's ID. Don't let nobody slip through the cracks because that place is getting shut down. They're making sure nobody got guns, nobody got drugs. Let them find out anything is off at that bar where this situation went down and that place is closed. Maybe for a couple days, maybe for the rest of time.
Yeah, see the story in this type of story, you exposing something else, which is that like these clubs that are hesitant to call the cops, that's a red flag. Those are the clubs that let people in with weapons and just do a lot of under the table shit. It's probably some minors in there. It's probably people who don't supposed to be in there, pretty much, and that's exactly why they're not calling. Because why wouldn't they jump on the phone? My thing is this: okay? Why didn't you call them? Why didn't your friend call them? Why do y'all wait for them to call? Is it like some type of play in this or something? Maybe it's some type of insurance claim in it. I don't know. Is it a difference between whether I call or you call? That's what all I want to know. Because me personally, if the other hand work, yeah, get here. You know what I'm saying? Why are we waiting for everybody to call unless they collecting phones or something? You don't got access to your phone. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of stuff is happening at once, and then you shouldn't even have. If I gotta look at my friend and you see all this blood on my hand, if I gotta look at you after warning everybody else to do something, I gotta tell you that you're not my friend.
Yeah, you shouldn't even be intoxicated with these people because
What is going on?
Y'all not even that lit and they acting. Where are they at?
They probably lit. She just ain't that lit.
They only got one drink.
She only got one drink. We don't know how many drinks they got. You know what I'm saying? She said that she was still on her first drink, but her friends probably was tearing it up. I'm like, that's what I don't understand. This is why I don't go to clubs, because like, who's the designated driver? One of us got to be conscious, right? So if I'm always the conscious one, that's why I'm never going. Because it's like, what the fuck is the point of this? Like, I'm just got to be up one sip, get a little tipsy like Jesus did. But then that's it. I can't get lit. So what am I doing? I'm going to go home and just get toe up, you know what I'm saying? And just know I'm safe. Then before I get toe up to the point that I got to get home and I don't know, I don't even got the right brain functioning going on. And I got to tell somebody else to call somebody with the phone right in my hand.
Yeah, thank goodness she was aware enough to raise her hand up, because if that wasn't her hand, it would have most likely been her face.
I'm trying to figure out, what did he hit her with? Like, what is the rage about? Damn. And yeah, 100% I would sue the club. 100% suing you can sue people for anything. I'm suing the club. I feel like this is a good case, but what do y'all think?
And I can hear people making assumptions that I know this man, that this is someone who I knew. And, everything at this point is just happening in slow motion. I can't believe it. I'm trying to hold pressure on my hands so I don't bleed everywhere. I'm also pissed because the outfit that I had on, it was so cute. I had just bought it that day, shoes and fit included. It was my first time wearing it out, and now it's covered in blood. I feel like I'm gonna forget some very important parts that make this story what it is. But so my friend the calls 911, and firefighters get there. I know it wasn't ambulances. So but while she's on the phone, my friend, while she's on the phone with 911, all I can hear her saying is, I don't know. She's in shock. She's not saying anything. I don't know. She's in shock. She's not saying anything. And that, like, thinking about it now is so significant to me because as a nurse, and when I've been in situations as a first responder, or, when you watch TV shows, you hear them say, I think they're in shock. She didn't even say I think she's in shock. It was so obvious that I was not doing okay mentally. Like, I wasn't doing okay, aside from the physical, like, mentally. I couldn't believe what that man did to me, and I couldn't believe that it was allowed to happen because the incident was preventable. If he would have been kicked out when the bartender, who's also a manager, asked for him to be kicked out, if he would have been kicked out when he called me a bitch, and when he actually was leaving the premises, if he would have been followed by security like he was supposed to have been, none of this, none of this would have happened. So I walk outside to the ambulance, fire truck, whatever. And they wrap up my hand, and I'm talking to my friends, and I'm like, this really sucks. I'm finally unmuted. I finally take myself off mute. I'm finally in a place where I can, like, um say words and maybe articulate myself a little bit. And I'm like, dude, this sucks. Like, if you know me, I work really hard. I'm in school, you know, I, I work like crazy, and I don't get to go out a lot. So when I go out, I really love to have fun. And I'm just pissed off that, like, this night, I'm like, this night is over. This night is ruined. This night is ruined. And I had on such a cute outfit. I'm with my favorite girls. Like, I'm irritated. And the firefighter who's wrapping up my hand, he's like, you don't have to go right now. You don't have to go right now. You can, if you want, go back inside, have some more drinks, and then just go in the morning. And in my head, I'm like, I absolutely should go straight to the hospital. However, I know once I go to the hospital, that's the end of the night. And this is also so disappointing because from the time I walked in the club to the time I'm standing at this truck getting wrapped up, it wasn't even 30 minutes. It hadn't even been 30 minutes. I think I timed it because with timestamps, it was like 24 minutes, 26 minutes. Like, it was no time. This all happened so fast. And so the owner, he was like, well, if you guys come back inside, I'll get you a bottle. Like, I'll take care of you. And so we were like, okay, we'll go inside and have a drink. So we had a drink. No, no, no. Let me back up. Okay. Before we make the decision to go inside to have a drink, while I'm standing and getting patched up, I see the guy. I see the guy. The guy who assaulted me, I see him. I see him again. leaving from in front of the club. Where was he at all of this time? And I want to say again, sincerely yours, do not call the police. If someone if someone was assaulted in my club, I would call the police and have them arrested. And they were holding him. I'm watching them hold him, and they allow him again to walk past me. Now, at this point, the owner is standing there at the corner watching this man getting to a car with his arms crossed. But he should have called the police. And at this point, I'm not in my right mind. I'm 100% not in my right mind. Okay. And people have, like, when I told people what happened and when I posted pictures going back inside to have a drink, people were messaging me saying, like, you shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't have stayed. I would have went home. Like it doesn't make sense. So who was she talking to? I thought she was talking to the police. Like when there's an ambulance truck showed up without the police. I've never seen that happen before. At least one cop car coming. So you telling me the man who assaulted you, left you like that, was able to walk past and get in the car with his hands crossed and went on with his day? Story is like what? Did y'all tell him that that man attacked you? I'm confused. Some missing pieces in this story. I feel like because what the hell? You were never getting away with that. Not in Ohio, at least. I don't know. Maybe wherever she's from. I just don't know.
This just sounds like the owner knows the guy and he felt guilty, so that's why they're giving you a bottle. And if you take the bottle, now it seems like, oh, it wasn't that big a deal. Like she still stayed and partied. Because if
Right?
it was really an emergency, you would have left immediately.
Yeah, it's not gonna help your lawsuit. Like, oh no, she continued to party and have a good time. It wasn't even that bad of a cut. Nah, nah,
And
nah,
no
nah.
telling if he's gonna come back. You talk about he didn't even go in a police car. Ma'am, he could probably be waiting for you when you come out. But hey,
Survival skills. Ah, my goodness, man. But I get what she's saying though. You know, if you saying all this about that club, you should have definitely left that club because now it's looking like y'all came, you and that dude came together or something. That's what they spinning already. They kind of trying to spin this narrative like, oh, we thought she came with the man and they was talking and discussing, and and then you end up staying. It's just I don't know. What do y'all think in this situation? I feel like that's not gonna help her in this court case. I don't even think she's suing, honestly.
until you have been in a situation, I don't care what people say behind phone screens and sitting at home on the couch. You can say all you want about what you woulda, coulda, shoulda done, what I shoulda, coulda, woulda done. You never know. You cannot say what you woulda, shoulda, coulda done in a situation. You just can't. Because looking back, telling the story now, when I think about the fact that I went back inside, I'm like, girl, why did you go back inside? You should have just took your ass straight to the hospital. But I was in such shock. And when something that traumatic happens to you, you just, you just, you just. And so I was hoping, again, I want to preface I'm a nurse, right? So I know when I use the hospital, they are not going to give me anything strong. And I'm not going to ask for anything strong. So I want to at least be drunk for the stitch insertion that I know I'm going to need, okay? I know I'm going to need stitches. So I'm like, okay, we'll go in here, get a little shot, and go. I want to back up again and say that I was not the only person hurt. As my friend is calling 911 and she's on the phone with them, and I'm finally like looking around to be able to see, I look to my right. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing to keep from crying as I tell the story. There's a woman holding her head, and there's another woman whose foot is bleeding. So, in the process of him trying to injure me, he has injured two other women. So the woman who got her foot hurt, she had to get carried out of the club. She's gone. So it was just me and the woman who got hit in the head. I don't know how she got hit in the head. I don't know if the glass he threw at me bounced off of me and hit her in the head or she got hit in the head when people finally like grabbed him off of me. But we're sitting there and she
All right, I'm not gonna lie, this is starting to become unbearable. And you still stayed. This is the survival skills of a drunk, yeah, of a drunken master or something. Because I,
Yeah.
I'm on her side. I get it. What he did was crazy. Everything you saying, I'm on your side with it. Don't get me wrong. And the last thing y'all probably want to hear is a man. I can already I can tell energy when a woman don't like men. You know what I'm saying? There's always some type of energy there when she mentioned men. Like, of course he was a guy. Stuff like that. But I will be honest. I feel where you coming from. It's all wrong. Now, even though I am sitting on the couch or sitting on my chair at home, that doesn't mean I don't ain't never been through this shit before. I think everybody's been through a scuffle, you know? And in situations where you have to fight or flight, you didn't make it through the fight, but you still have the opportunity to fly. And you decided to stay. It just don't make any sense. And then you said two other women was assaulted. How did he skate away? That's all I want to know. How the hell did he get away with that? You know what I'm saying? Why did nobody help? And why didn't your friends get touched? I thought you were about to say you looked over and saw two of your friends stretched out on the floor from trying to protect you or something. Two random women just enjoying their time got knocked over fucking with him. And he still managed to hit you? The message of this is stay home, y'all. Get a little bottle, stay in your house, turn on some good music on YouTube, and just vibe out. Invite a couple people over. Because these clubs are overrated. They charging you to get in. They not even protecting you. So what am I paying $100 to get in the fucking door for? And there don't be no real people in there. And even if it is somebody in there, is it worth spending all this money just to say hello? Like, get the hell out of here, y'all. Club culture would never make sense to me. Even when I was young, that shit didn't make sense to me. Like,
Yeah, I'm just at a loss for words. And the fact that your friends didn't even know what was going on, just kept saying, "Oh, she's in shock. I don't know what happened." Like, where were they when he did this to you? You talking about you ducked off and you were hiding, girl? You should have ducked off and leave. It's really not worth it at all. And I stand by the fact that the owners probably knew this guy. He probably is a regular, comes in all the time, does this all the time, and just gets away with it. That's why he continues. That's exactly why you need to call the police and tell on these people, because they're just going to continue doing it, thinking this is a safe spot for them to do it and not get caught. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't go there again if this is what's happening.
she definitely going there again. I don't think she not. But I just don't understand nothing. What do y'all think?
comes inside as well. She never really, I don't think she ever went outside. Oh, she did go outside to get an ice pack for her head. She comes back inside. She doesn't drink. I think she just came in to like make me feel better and like debrief with me about what happened. But she's sitting in the freaking club holding the ice pack on her head. Like, how crazy is that? That if that man would have just been kicked out, none of this would have happened. And so I'm a yapper. I got sidetracked. I forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, so we finally leave. We're like, okay, it's time for me to go to the hospital. It's time for her to go wherever she's gonna go for her head. And so as we're like saying we're gonna leave, she leaves first. And I run into a friend, so I'm like telling her what happened. We're oohing and on about it. But then the general manager, he comes up to me. He's like, the police are outside. So I'm like, oh, they called the police. Sincerely Yours has done the right thing and they called the police. They're finally rectifying the situation. Wrong again. Wrong again. The police were only there because when the girl who got hit in the head was walking outside, she saw police officers outside just posted up. And she said, hey, if I want to file a police report, would I have to go to the station? And the cop was like, not necessarily, what's going on? And so she told him what happened. He called his backup and they took our report. And so they wanted me, so they had me come outside. Um and I told him what happened and he was like, you should have called the police. You should have 100% called the police and the venue should have called.
Okay, something ain't right. Because she told us, right? We just heard her say not too long ago, many moons ago, right? That Her friend called the police. Remember? Come on now, I'm locked in this time. The friend called the police. So how, if the friend called the police, can you just call the ambulance? Is what I'm asking. Because how the fuck do you just call the ambulance? Like, yeah, can you just come pick me up? I thought you had to call the police. Then the police dispatches the ambulance and maybe an officer. And if it's two officers already outside, you don't think that they got the alert that something was happening right there and they could have picked up that first? It just doesn't make sense. The
I think
story
it's
is kind of like taking a little off the rail toe. Like, I don't think this is the same story. Like,
I
this don't
think
make
it's
sense.
because it's the explanation the friend got. They're asking her what's happening. She's just like, oh, she's in shock. I don't know what happened. That's why I'm like, did the friend see what had happened? Like, they're probably just like, oh, did she need medical attention? Like, I don't know what happened. She's in shock. So they only sent the ambulance. I don't know. It seems like everybody is drinking and
This
they
story's
probably
all over
just
the
like,
place.
what is the police is probably just as confused when the friend was on the phone. If you're saying somebody's in shock,
Confused or not, though, the police gonna send somebody out. You can accidentally call the police, and they're going to send somebody to your house anyways. Because I mean, unless you make it clear, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna send somebody regardless, just to double check because that's, you could be in a distress situation and you just saying you're okay because somebody's putting you in harm. So they might sense that type of urgency and come. But if I'm on the phone with somebody and they're telling me, oh, if I just don't see the officers, the police just being like, oh, it's okay, we just send an ambulance truck, bandage you up, and then you can go about your day. Like, what? If it was severe as you saying, you leaking down your hand, you need stitches, why would the officer look at you? And then who was telling you this? The damn, who? The medic? The paramedic? Told you to go back in there and drink and have a good time? Shit just don't make sense. This don't make any sense to me.
Called the police. They should have had him arrested. And he wasn't saying it in a condescending way. He was saying it in like a, brother talking to his sister way. Like, he too was flabbergasted that the police weren't called when the assault happened. Um, yeah. There's more to the story, but I have to go to bed because I do work tonight. But all in all, more of the story is I was assaulted by a man for nothing. And oh, I guess I have to tell you what happened when I went to the hospital. Hold on, come back for part 4 in the last part for right now. Yeah, as you can see, I'm no longer vertical. I'm now horizontal. I did work last night, so um but the shit has been like stewing on my spirit. And, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that this thing happened to me, but I especially like that no one has suffered any consequences. And that no one, and I want to emphasize, no one has tried to rectify this situation with me. No one has tried to rectify this situation with me. So, back to the story and the last part right now. I go to the hospital. I need stitches, duh. Okay. But as they're like looking at my hand, they're like, you're gonna need an x-ray. Because I'm like, there's still glass in the cut. And so I go get an x-ray after they get the glass out of the cut just to make sure they have gotten all the glass out of the cut. They get all the glass out the cut. And but like as they're waiting for the x-ray to come back, he's like, I can't stitch you up yet because I don't want to stitch you up. There's glass in there and then I gotta open you up. So like, I just want to confirm. When I say he, I mean the doctor. He's like, I want to confirm there's no glass. So we're sitting there and I'm like, by the way, there's something in my left eye. Now, when I went to the club, I had lash clusters on, but like in the midst of the night after I got hit with the glass, I ripped the clusters out because it felt like it was something in my eye. Now, my lashes are really curly. And so I have one lash on this side that curls into my eye. And before I had went out that night, it was doing that. So I thought that's what it was, but something, my little nurse brain was like, you need to have them look at your eye. And so I'm like, hey, by the way, could be nothing, but there may be glass in my eye. It's really irritated. It was irritated when I left, but now it's worse. And I took my lashes off, but like it's still irritated. And so he pulls out his little Dr. Eyeball looking thingy. He's like, yeah, there's glass in your eye. So he gets the glass out the eye, da 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 da. Suddenly I can't see. And so I'm freaking out. And long story short, I had a corneal abrasion from the glass. And for 3 days, I could not see, I could not drive, I could not see out of this eye. So my friend had to chauffeur me everywhere because I could not see out of this eye. And the thing about your eyes is they're connected, right? So when this eye is watering and burning and hurting and you go to close it, this one closes too. So I was stuck on the couch for 3 days. Aside from the fact, we'll get back to the hand, but outside of my hand, on top of everything, I could not see out of my eyes for 3 days. Now, they do my eye. I get 9 stitches in my hand. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stitches in my dominant hand. I am a right-handed labor and delivery nurse with 9 stitches in her index finger. I had to take 2 weeks off of work and I could not see or drive myself around for 3 days. And now I know you're thinking 3 days. 3 days not being able to do anything for yourself is 3 days too long when it shouldn't have happened, okay? And I want to go back. I want to talk very quickly about my statement about no one trying to rectify this situation with me. When we were still at Sincerely Yours, there was a lot of lip service, as my friend called it lip service. There's a lot of lip service about the things that would be done to rectify the situation from the owner to me. One of the things my friend brought up was, her clothes are all bloody. Are you going to reimburse her for her clothes? Like, are you going to get her new clothes? He said yes. She was doing the talking for me because, again, I'm in a state of shock and there wasn't a lot that I was saying. So she was saying, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And he was like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. He makes the general manager get my number. This is important to the story because the owner and the general manager have my number. They get my number and they're like, we're going to check in with you. We're going to see how you're doing. The general manager sent one text while I was at the hospital and asked me how I was doing. Could not respond because I could not see. So I responded that next morning at 9 a.m. and I tell him what happened. I have a corneal abrasion, I can't see out of my eye, and I got 9 stitches in my hand. Crickets. I, to this day, January 19th, have not heard a single thing from the owner, Erie, of Sincerely Yours, or the general manager, Buddha, after they assured me they would check in with me and make sure I was okay. I have not heard anything from them. On top of that, the owner of Sincerely Yours made it seem like he would do everything he could to help me find justice against my attacker, only for him to have given me a fake name. Now, I cannot confirm or deny whether or not him giving me a fake name was on purpose, but he gave me a fake name, and when I told that name to the police officer immediately was like, that is a fake name. And I was like, no, like the owner gave that name to us directly. Like, why would the owner give us a fake name? He wants to rectify the situation. He says, okay, I'm going to find out the name. I guarantee you it's not that name. And lo and behold, it wasn't that name. That name that I was given by the owner was a fake name. It's not even close to the man's actual name. And so looking back, when the situation happened, again, I keep saying I was in shock, but I really want to emphasize that. I couldn't believe that I was hurt so badly over nothing. And so I'm just laughter is like a coping mechanism, and I'm just trying to like make light of the situation in the moment because I don't know what else to do. And so the owner is like yucking it up with me, making it seem like he's going to make this okay. And as of January 19th, nothing has been made okay by anyone. And it's pissing me off because my hand hurts every day. I have this permanent scar. I'm having to do occupational therapy, physical therapy. I'm having to alter the way that I can do my job. There's certain things I can't do now. I can't make a fist. I can't apply pressure. Doing cervical exams is really hard for me and really painful for me. I can't spray bottles. I can't open.
Okay, I get it. You fucked up. All right. I don't know. It took a lot for me to get through the last part. I was about to cut it off as soon as I saw her in the bed laying down, damn near sleeping. Like if you ain't taking this shit serious, why am I? Goodness gracious. Okay, all of that to say, I mean, it's like a minute left. We're just going to end it there. I'm pretty sure it's not going anywhere else other than the fact that everything she can't do with this hand. Now, I do feel bad for her at the end of the day, but you said that what you say, nobody did anything to like, rectify what happened. I thought the bottle and coming back into the club was that. I thought that's what that meant. When he's like, we'll get you a bottle, you come back, have a good time, and blah, blah, and you took that. That was it. That was it. Maybe he didn't say, oh, I got this to rectify the situation. That's what it was. I know you didn't notice that in the moment because you think like, oh, I'm going to get this bottle and I'm going to possibly get some. Why are you not suing? Like, that's the only thing I can say. Like, just sue him. Just sue him. Why are you? I'm not calling back to give you no money either. You better take me to court. That's how this world works. You're not about to just, oh, are you okay? What you need? A new shirt, some new pants. Once they started to realize how serious the shit was, you got stitches and stuff. You getting fragments moved from your eyes. I'm not picking up either. What the fuck? I didn't do it. It just happened in my establishment. I wasn't even in the room. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I'm not saying, what he did was right, but I can definitely understand why he did it if this is all you can go on to do about it. Shit, go get an attorney. Go get some free consultation and see what you can do. You said you've been put out of work for days and you can't perform the same way you used to perform because of what happened to your hand. Doesn't that sound like a damn lawsuit? That sounds like a fucking lawsuit to me. I'm not an attorney though. I've never been in law school, never did anything with that. But I'm just saying, based off of being in real life and doing real life shit, I've seen people get sued for less. So I'm just saying, you might have a case, but what do y'all think?
Yeah, the manager and the whole establishment, they're definitely covering their ass. And when you took that bottle, it was like that was like a verbal agreement, basically.
Yeah, we cool. We straight.
They definitely know who did it because I'm no detective. But when you buy a drink like he was drinking at the bar, you have to give them your credit card.
And
On
your
the credit
ID.
card, they have a name. So he gave you a fake name, red flag. And the police should have definitely been more on it. But I'm pretty sure the only advice I can give you is to lawyer up because the business definitely lawyered up. After you said everything that happened, they were on the phone with the lawyer. They said, do not respond, do not say anything.
Yeah.
See if they take it any further.
100%.
And that's exactly why they didn't want to call the police. Like, they are giving shady AF.
Yeah, they know a lot. Business owners know at any possible time that a lawsuit can happen, especially in those type of environments. People are getting shot. People are getting all type of. You got the worst of the situation. I mean, the least worst of the situation, if it makes sense. But they are ready for this. They're prepared for this. So yeah, as soon as you went home, he lawyered up, got on the phone, got some free consultation, or paid for it, whatever. At the end of the day, this is all a part of their budget. We budget for legal fees every month, even if we ain't using it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you got to understand that in these type of situations, they ready and you're not. And I don't know what you're going to do about it, but I would definitely lawyer up. I mean, you got a case. It's all about, do you have the funds to make it happen? You may can even get a public attorney because I mean, I feel like what they call those people who just
Public
get
offender.
public offender. You can get one of those people. Is that what they call them?
I don't know. But her taking that drink and drinking after that, they're gonna use that in court. They're gonna say she was
Yeah, public
fine.
offender.
She stayed. She stayed and drank a whole bottle. So they have that against you.
But what are y'all thoughts on this, messy family? What are y'all thoughts when it comes to this story time? Have you ever been in a similar situation? At the end of the day, my heart does go out to this creator. I know I was making faces and it was just dragging. It was just dragging. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little dragging there. Part 4 probably wasn't even necessary, but it's okay. I'm gonna let it finish out because I know how y'all are. Y'all be like, oh, let it play out. Some of us, it's like 15% of you that watch the video that make it to the end. So I'm gonna respect the fact that y'all do that, and I'm gonna finish them all out. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't want to. But at the end of the day, shout out to this creator. At the end of the day, for speaking up on this situation. A lot of women don't say shit. They just kind of just deal with it and go on about their day because they feel like people maybe they can't take people's opinions, or they feel like nobody will take this type of stuff seriously. But at least you took the initiative to speak on this, and now you can get some help. Hopefully, you are taking the feedback seriously. I know it's not stuff you want to hear. There's a lot of accountability in those comments, probably. It's like that. People always want to tell you what you should have did, what you could have did. They're just trying to help you in the way that they can help you. Obviously, the time has passed, but maybe listen to them a little bit and take their advice seriously. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what do y'all think? If y'all want to follow her for more updates on this story, or maybe y'all want to give her some words of advice, you can drop it in the comment section, or you can follow her directly on her account, which will be credited in the description box below. That's all we got for you guys today. Hope you are having a great day, and thank you for those who made it to the very end of this video. We appreciate you.